we've all paid our dues, we're all members for today, and we're gonna talk about, are you getting the biggest bang for your buck? When we started here at Toastmasters, okay, I'm sorry, when we all, why is it not moving?
You can turn it over to Ramesh to solve your problem, and you can, because he's an IT professional.
Click your mouse into that screen, yeah.
Click your mouse there,
Yeah.
anywhere in there.
Yeah, I'm turning it now.
And then hit the space bar.
Okay, maybe don't turn it over to Ramesh.
Okay, thank you.
Yay.
So then I'll point to you, you can go to the next one. So we all started as guests of Toastmasters. We wanted to come and find out what it was about, much like Nico. Then we became members. We paid our money, we all joined, and then now we're gonna talk about
Just clicking.
becoming an officer. That's the next step when you are in Toastmasters. So as you know, as I mentioned, we have elections coming up, so I'm gonna go through a little quick bite about what all the different officer roles are, just to kind of let you know, see if you're interested, and then we'll talk more later. Go to the next part. So first up, you have the Sergeant at Arms. The Sergeant at Arms serves as the property and logistics manager for the club. The major role that the Sergeant at Arms plays is that he or she sets up the room, makes sure that we have all of the agendas available, that the name tags are here, the guest book is available. That's the first role. Then the next portion of the Sergeant at Arms is to arrive and wait and make sure that no one else comes into the room when someone is speaking. So make sure that there's no interruptions and that the meeting flows appropriately. Then after that, the Sergeant at Arms maintains the club supplies to make sure that we have enough ribbons here, to make sure that everyone gets their awards. And if he doesn't, if we don't have the appropriate amount, then he or she will let the president know so that they can order. The next officer we have is the treasurer. The treasurer is the caretaker of all the club's finances. That's the money person, very important here. So as the treasurer, one of the main functions is to prepare a club budget so we can know what we're going to receive and also what we intend to spend out for the year, and also to keep track of that budget. Another main focus for the treasurer is to manage the club bank account. As we know, with all the security breaches, it's very important to keep track of your money. So they have to maintain records of all the transactions going in and out of the bank account. The next thing they have to do is to accept the club revenues and to write checks as needed. One major thing that we must understand is the treasurer is not able to write checks to themselves. They just write checks out of the account. And then finally, the next thing that the treasurer does is collect and pay dues from all the members. So the treasurer is responsible for paying the dues online and then keeping track of that as well. Next up. Next is the secretary. Today, Eric is our secretary. He does a really good job at that. He does all the record keeping for our club. The secretary would continue to do the same thing. They would maintain all the club files and make sure that we had an up-to-date membership roster as we move throughout the different terms, so no one is unaccounted for. The next thing that the secretary does is record and distribute the minutes from all of the different meetings that we have, so those people who are unable to attend, they still know what's going on in the meetings. So that's a very important role as well. And you can go to the next one. Carlos is currently our VP of PR, the communications coordinator. The person that would take on this role, you can go to the next one, would promote all of the club events that we have coming up, the membership achievements, if it's a CL, a CC, or a contest win. Would also publish the meeting times and the locations, which we generally meet here, but if that changes, the VP of PR would notify everyone of that. Also prepare and distribute a club newsletter. Carlos is actually working on one for this term now, so we can go ahead and identify all the cool things that we've done as a club. And then also to update all of the social media sites. We have a presence on Twitter. You can follow us. We have updates there as well. We have our LinkedIn group where we post different articles. And we have our Facebook page where the word of the day for each week is posted on the Facebook page. So if you aren't already following us, please do. Next up. Next, you have the membership coordinator, which is the VP of membership. The role that the VP of membership does is to recruit new members and also to retain our current members. We want to make sure that we have a nice overturn and not too much churn in our membership as we move forward from term to term. The next part that the VP of membership does is to process membership applications. They're responsible for going to the website and actually entering in the new members as well. And then initially when you join, the VP of membership would collect all the information, and after that, then if you're a current member, the dues would go to the treasurer as mentioned before. And then finally, or not finally, they would also, as I said, enter new member information, and then they would coordinate membership building activities like we had last term. We had the membership drive, and we're actually working to have another one this year as well. Okay. Then you have the VP of Education, who's in charge of our educational programs, of managing the different awards that we have, and also tracking the achievements of all the different members to see how we are doing in terms of our CLs and our CCs. They also are the people, that's the person who signs your project records in your book once you've completed different projects. And then also they manage the mentor program. So whenever someone new joins the club, you will get assigned a mentor, so that way you can work through getting your speeches done. Okay, and then you go to the next one. And then finally you have the president. That's me, yay! So the president is the club CEO and the team leader. You are generally the cheerleader of the club. You can go in, you preside over all of the different meetings, our executive meetings, as well as our club meeting. You coordinate with the area governor for the Distinguished Club Recognition Program. You would order the supplies based on the information that you get from the Sergeant at Arms. And also you would represent the club at all the contests and meetings. If you're available, if not, then you would associate a proxy. So today we will do nominations. So today nominations, yay, Dawn, if you could pass out the nomination forms. And then for those members who aren't here, I will send them via email. I ask you to just look and see based on what you've heard, who you think would fit into the different roles that we've nominated. And then next time, we will vote on November 6th. So mark your calendars, the November 6th meeting will be our voting day. And then finally, starting on January 1st, you will serve your telecom park Toastmasters. So with that, thank you.